Okay then guys, what's going on? Cloud Plays here. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we have got a massive update. I've just installed an 8.3 gigabyte update on my PlayStation 5 for the World Slayer patch notes, and these are huge, so huge I'm having to upload these over 2 videos so you guys can kind of go and pick and choose what it is you want to watch. We have got the general balance updates and the overall patch notes. These are separate things altogether. This was something which had already been pre-leaked to come out over on Reddit. A Reddit user that we won't announce actually posted up that the Ark, and we'll be posting these, but we are not going to mess around with this. I'm just going to dive in because it's going to be a long enough video as it is, as these patch notes are huge. We have got all sorts of things from item locking, quick marking, apocalypse tier grinding, crafting costing, resource gains, expedition rewards, and balance changes on buffs. These are insane. So like I said, we're going to break this down into 2 videos, and hopefully you guys get the information that you want from these. Now, if you haven't already, smash the beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. Also, if you want to get involved with a load of like-minded Outriders like yourselves, please check out the Discord. Link will be down in the description. 500 plus people in there right now in the space of 2 weeks. Make sure you go and check it out. And we also go live over on Twitch every now and then, although my schedule is pretty ram-packed at the moment. Next week we'll be getting back to normal, with the schedule being 2 live streams plus videos here on the channel. So let's dive in to the patch notes for Outriders. I am excited to see this one. There is a lot going on, but he states right here that the complete patch notes spans 2 announcements as they are too long to contain in a single one. This thread covers the general changes and bug fixes. You can find changes regarding the balance items in the previous thread. I'll leave the links down in the description if you want to check it out, but they've got some nice graphics to make this a lot easier. So right here we have got the World Slayer patch highlights for the new feature of item locking. This is long overdue, and I don't need to cover too much detail on this, but essentially you've got a quick mark functionality that will now include legendary apocalypse tiers and apocalypse tier legendary rarities. You can also change the behavior of the camera when sprinting to make the camera sprint behavior between toggle and hold sprint consistent. The camera will no longer turn when players are sprinting. That's nice to see, actually, a bit of a forward lighting. It is quite interesting, but they've also got the item lock functionality to give you guys the ideal situation of not accidentally deleting any of your APOC gear that you do want to keep, and Lord knows we've all suffered from it. Next up we have got the Apocalypse tier grind. Now, they started from the Apocalypse tier 20, the requirements to level up. Each Apocalypse tier has been reduced by 10%. For me personally, not much of a reduction. A little bit gutted about this, although they have started the process. This is still going to be a hell of a long grind to get through to Apocalypse tier 40, but they've still made the process a little bit easier by reducing the 10% XP reductions. We've got the crafting cost reductions and the resource gains that have been increased. So these are the numbers that I'm increasing, are kind of interesting to say the least. The amount of anomaly extract gained has generally been improved, and the amount of anomaly extract from Tarot Guitar Troves has been increased by 500%. That is a very large number, and I'm very happy to see that that's the case. So grinding Tarot Guitar will now be worth your grind for the overall anomaly extract runs. A full run through of Tarot Guitar should now net out around double the amount of anomaly extract and per run when compared to before this patch, which is weird considering a 500% increase. We don't obviously work on 1000% being the maximum usage, but it's neither here nor there. We've got boss rushing the final arbiter will net slightly more anomaly extract than before, but this will not be the most efficient route for anomaly extract farming. Will be the decision maker on that one. We'll give these things a crack over the next week or so. Crafting and upgrading now starting at level item 50. They've got the anomaly extract costs required to upgrade gear has been reduced by 5%. Small reduction, but a reduction all the same. And between the 2 above changes, increased gains and reduced costs, players should be able to start supporting upgrades 2 full sets of gear per Apocalypse level tier. This should enable a greater amount of experimentations and limit the need to hoard resources in order to be able to upgrade the current equipment set. The Apocalypse tier gear drop rates. Starting at Apocalypse tier 11, the increased chance for Apocalypse variant gear has been increased for each Apocalypse tier. Thank you very much. That's huge. That's huge. These are massive adjustments that they've been working on for our benefit, and it generally seems to be the case. This one's a bit of a weird one though. The expedition grinds. Expedition rewards have been improved. So the expedition rewards have been increased in order to make expeditions feel more viable alongside Tarot Gratar. The loot gained per X time investment should now feel quite similar between expeditions and Tarot Gratar, which means that players should now receive a greater amount of epic and legendary items and comparatively fewer rare items in expeditions, and anomaly extract farming should now feel much more viable to do in expeditions as well. This is huge. This means that essentially the end game content is now not just Tarot Gratar, and expeditions may now be a viable option. As to which ones are better, we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to be doing a lot of detailed runs inside of this sort of stuff to see what it is that we can find as far as the most efficient ways to get APOC gear, to get legendaries, to get anomaly extracts. There's going to be a lot of different videos coming off the back end of this over the next week as to which ones are going to be the most efficient ways to do absolutely anything at all. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see where this one goes, especially from a lot of the other content creators inside of the community as well. We always tend to kind of rally together with this, and there are generally a lot of information that you guys will get off the back end of these updates. There's always loads that you can kind of find from here. Now we've got a load of bug fixes as well. There's a progression related bug which fixed the bug that allowed players to miss a PAX point if they transitioned out of Fisherman too quickly. They fixed a bug that prevented characters transferring to World Slayer from obtaining their first ascension point. They've also fixed a bug that could prevent co-op players from leveling up even if they had acquired all the requirements experience but the party had wiped during combat. They fixed a final bug which causes the player's health to be improperly calculated if they leveled up immediately after dying. The correct value would be displayed if they died again. I didn't know anything about these bugs. A lot of these bugs were a little bit irrelevant to me, to be fair. I never experienced any of them, and if you guys did, well, you won't have to again, and that's very, very interesting to say the least. The PAX nodes was an interesting one with the Fisherman fight, because apparently there was also a thing that if you just rinsed and repeated the Fisherman fight, you would gain the PAX points. And inside of these bug fixes, there's actually bloody loads. We've got bug fixes as skills and nodes. We've got bug fixes in gear. We've also got bug fix mods, bug fix enemies. There's a lot of things to cover throughout this. It's actually insane how much work they've put behind this patch update. Now, as far as the bug fixes in skills and nodes, there is a few things that obviously have been adjusted between the Devastator, Technomancer, and the Trickster. These things will cause for a lot of frustration that was happening before to hopefully stop happening now. They've few that we've actually sort of like noticed mainly primarily off the bat is they fixed a bug that prevented the Trickster's Hunt the Prey skill from triggering if enemies were using cover, and they fixed a bug that caused the Tricksters to lock up if they used Hunt the Prey on an enemy who used it to die at the same time. These are big ones. The Tricksters Hunt the Prey bugs were huge, and they had another one here which fixed a bug that could cause Tricksters to get stuck in geometry on certain levels when using Hunt the Prey as well. There's a lot of other bits and bobs, but you guys want to check that out. Link in the description, you guys can go and take a look into that a little bit more. Bug fixes in gear, there's some very big numbers I'm seeing here. We've got a 700% movement. They fixed a bug which causes the status power provided by items to be multiplied instead of decreased as players increase their Apocalypse tiers. This could unintentionally lead to increasing as high as 700% status power for Apocalypse tier 40. That's pretty mad. That's going to affect some people. Bloody yawning, it's early in the morning here in the UK when I'm doing this video. My apologies. Anyway, they've also fixed a bug that allowed the game to drop a headgear, that item called Raph's Mask, for which there was no transmog design. Very small issues indeed. We've got some mod fixes here which are going to affect you guys more than pretty much anything else on this list. So we're going to take a quick look at that one right now. They fixed a bug that caused the shock and awe mod not to trigger more often than intended. A bit disappointed because the mod wasn't amazing anyway, but neither here nor there. They fixed a mod that caused the Untamed Power mod to skip the cooldown for the Trickster's Hunt the Prey skill. The Hunt the Prey skill was always a very, very bugged bloody ability. It was something that you guys never really wanted to use too much. Fixed a bug that prevented the Concussive Force mod from increasing the damage dealt by the Devastators, a chip off the old block mod effect. And we've also got a fixed bug that caused self-medication mod to fully restore players' health every time it was triggered. They finally fixed self-medication, which is not good. That mod was so broken. I was really enjoying utilizing that, but that's a switch out to say the least. And they've implemented changes to the death ray mod of VFX so that the mod effects is not overly bright in certain areas. We definitely didn't address the overall movement around the Eye of the Storm. Okay. We're neither here nor there. They've bug fixed a load of things with enemies, which I don't really want to get into. It seems a lot of irrelevancy. And then they've got a load of general bug fixes, which includes the clipping issues and the camera movements during cutscenes and stuff like that. Various other minor bugs, crash fixes and stuff like that. Nothing too big there. But as an overall, this is huge. There's a massive update, of which this is only half, and we're already at 12 minutes. So we're going to move on in the next video to the balance updates, which hopefully cause for a lot of big changes to a lot of big things. We're going to take a dive into that in the next video, but if you have enjoyed this one, then make sure you jump over to the thumbs up button and click it, and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. This is great. This is huge. There's a lot of big things inside of this. The item locking, the quick mark improvement skills, and the apocalypse tier grinding, the crafting resources and stuff like that. Some very big moves from Square Enix right here, and I'm really happy with how PCF have actually handled a lot of the stuff inside of the game. So very well done. Thank you very much. Anywho, that's what we've got time for today. If you haven't already, slap that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe. Post notifications turned on. Appreciate all your faces. But as always, guys, until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.